Okay, so we're going to be doing additive modeling here. Following rule number 1, pretend that didn't happen, we're going to go ahead and start a new component. This component is going to be called additive modeling. Okay, so now we have our component. You'll see that I already have it saved. I messed up. The video didn't save, and so I had to redo it. So let's go ahead and start a new sketch. I'm going to be starting this on the YX plane. I know it's YX because I have the green Y principal axis and the X principal axis. I'm going to create a center point rectangle. I'm going to pull it out some amount, and it's already 2, but I'm going to pretend it's not. So you notice how it's fusion blue, it's highlighted, so that means it's ready to be manipulated. I'm going to type in 2, and now it gives me a lock signal. When I hit tab on my keyboard, now that gives me a lock, it gives me the next dimension. I'm going to hit 2. I'm going to go ahead and say OK by hitting enter. I'm going to finish my sketch, and now I'm going to move it with my scroll key. So if I hit shift and scroll button or scroll wheel on my mouse, I can orbit. Okay, and if I just hit the scroll wheel and I press that down, I can pan. So those are some really important hotkeys there for you. I'm going to extrude this by selecting the object I want to extrude. So I went up and hit extrude. I only have one object here, so it automatically knew that's what I wanted. And it's already selected Fusion Blue, so I'm just going to type in 2. Now we have a 2" by 2" by 2" cube. Okay. Alright, so this is additive modeling. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and create a new sketch on the top. Notice how when I hover over it, it becomes like a light gray. That's what I want. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a 2-point rectangle. So if I zoom in, you see how when I go up to the top, it snaps to it first of all. That's one thing. But then when I hover over the center of it, that's dead center right there with the triangle. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so if I zoom out just a little bit and kind of use my mouse to scroll in, scroll out, and then use the mouse wheel to actually pan a little bit, that's what I'm doing there. So I'm panning, pan like that. I zoom in, I zoom out, I pan. Okay, so I'm going to get that in full view. I'm going to snap it to the center. I'm going to select with my left. I'm going to drop the second button, and now I'm going to go ahead and finish that sketch. And now, if I put it back in ISO view, now I have 2 different panels here. What I'm going to do is I can extrude this by either extruding it or pulling it, just to show you something different. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. I'm going to pull it up about, I don't know, it doesn't matter here, 0.75, because again, this is just practice. Okay, so now I have that there. I can see what that looks like there, kind of like a little stair step. Again, it's very simple, but that's additive modeling. I'm going to go ahead and save, and I'll notice here, right, I have an asterisk after the name. If I hit save, right, user saved, now it's going to go from V1 to V2. I have a check mark, and no more asterisk. Okay, let's jump over to my subtractive model. Again, I messed up. It did not save my video, so I'm going to pretend that this did not happen. So I'm just going to delete all this. Forgive me here. I'm going to delete my component as well. So we're going to pretend that this is scratch from the beginning. First step, rule number 1, is to create a new component. This is going to be called subtractive modeling. And this one, I'm going to go ahead and, obviously create my sketch. And again, I like to take this YX plane just because, again, I like building things typically from the bottom up. It depends on what I'm building. In this case, let's do something different. I'm going to do a polygon. So I can do any shape, any size polygon I would like to here, starting with triangles, moving all the way up to whatever. Circumscribed means that the polygon is on the outside diameter of that circle, and then inscribed is the opposite. The diameter is on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and pick circumscribed, doesn't matter. And I'm going to go ahead and do a 6-point. I'm going to snap it. Sorry, that's my son. And I'm going to make it 1 inch. I'm going to go ahead and say okay. So now the radius is 1 inch there. I'm going to finish that sketch. I'm going to pull this up again. Well, let's go 2 inches. Seems to be fair. And now I have this hexagonal bolt-looking thing. I'm orbiting around by holding shift in my scroll wheel. I have my ISO view there. And now let's go ahead and put a hole in this. Now I can come up here and I can use the hole feature. Okay, but in this case I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to create a through board hole by creating a sketch, picking the top, and then I'm going to go ahead and select a circle and make it, let's go 1/2 inch. Again, it doesn't matter. I hit 0.5, I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to finish my sketch. Again, I can finish it here, I can finish it up here, it does not matter. And now what I want to do is extrude this. Now when I do this, it naturally wants to go up. In this case, I'm going to actually pull it down. This is going to create a cut. And notice here, right, when I go up, it says join. When I go down, it starts and it changes that operation to a cut. I'm going to go all the way through. And again, it doesn't matter how far through we go. I'm going to cut it all the way through, and then I'm going to go ahead and say OK. And now I have a hole that's cut all the way through that awkward looking hexagonal bolt thing. And that's pretty much the simplicity of subtractive and additive modeling. Obviously, depending on how detailed you want to get with your modeling, will determine, what sort of things that you want to do. And obviously, from here, you could go in, you could add, obviously another hole, let's say on this plane or something, if you needed to. So I can find the center of that if I want to. 5. That's my son, he's fine. And I can go all the way through if I want to. Again, depending on what I'm trying to do here. Depends. It doesn't matter. We're just having fun. Happy little bolt there. So again, that is subtractive modeling. Hopefully that was pretty helpful for you, and thanks for watching. Save it. V1 to V2, and there you go. Have a great day.